Hello, hello, my friends. It is Friday, April the 25th, 42525, and whoo, what a day. Would you look at that, to the surprise of absolutely no one? The same people who last week were going, he is risen, this week are going, we don't give a fuck. That's about right for them. That is about right for them. Now, yeah, I'll circle back to my story with my ZiZi neighbors, because some of y'all were asking, you were like, how did they even get an officer to come to your door for something like that? I'm like, I'm betting that they pulled full Karen. I'm betting that, they came all the way to the corner and recorded me going by, because I don't even go by their actual house. They had to come to the street corner, okay? Then probably did the, okay, call them. Oh my gosh, we're so scared. This scary BLM Antifa woman called us ZZs. Come quick, hurry. We're so scared. There's a white woman in distress. Didn't you hear me? I'm white. And then he showed up and was like, okay, where's this big scary BLM thug, and where's all the video of them bothering you? And it's like, here's me having to walk all the way to the corner to catch it on video because she doesn't even actually drive by the house. And at that point, he was probably like, what do you want me to do? Go talk to her. Can't you do something? She can't call us that. And freedom of speech, bitch. Something you know a lot about, because you are genuinely publicly horrible and very public with your opinions you support. That's who you support. You go to the Steeple People place that supports them. You supported the school board candidates that is a member of those clubs. This is your people. This is what you're about. Don't be proud about it any other time. And then when someone of color calls you out, suddenly you're the victim. She called us what we are. Just because we're horrible doesn't mean she gets to say it. I'm being persecuted. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I'm going to fantasize that that's the answer, because I can't understand. The dude was so over it and looked like his time was being wasted. So I have a feeling that they pulled the, that scared white girl in the park thing they do when they're ready to call the cops. So they work themselves up and go, I'm so scared. I'm being threatened by a black. I bet that was her. Messy bun bitch. Anyway. All right, let's talk about this regime and the cookie crumbling, darling. The cookie is crumbling. So while this thing they're doing with the judges is absolutely meant shock and awe, this is also like a death grasp, okay? This is the last thing they can really push, and it's not going to go well. All right, I believe the judges, because I think there's 2 different states that they tried to arrest people for doing their job. Okay, the things they were aiding immigrants. No, they were doing their job. They were providing due process, which is what they're supposed to do. And that's the thing that the regime is trying to avoid, because they don't have any actual evidence for a lot of the people. They're just scooping them up and shipping them out. Okay, a 2-year-old was just exported to Honduras with her siblings and her mother, but her father is here. He's American. He's trying to get his family back. And just like everyone else, they were swept up, no notice. They're in another country, 2 years old. No due process, ripped away from everything she knows, because these people don't care. Like I said, the same people that were, he is risen last week, are listening to the sounds of children being ripped away from their parents and crying and going, yes, I love this. This is exactly what makes me a great God-fearing person. So yeah, that's where they are. And they're patting themselves on the back for this. You wanted to bring corporate into government, you're watching it. This is what they do. Nepo comes in, they hire other nepos, they fucking put everything on the company. Every expense is on the company. You saw what doo-doo department did. They, at the end of the day, the confirmed amount of money they cut, saved or whatever, basically contracts that were already completed, but whatever. They didn't really save anything. Verified, it's like 36 billion, and they cost us 135 billion to do it. We spent 135 billion for them to cut 36 billion in programs and shit that we need. Okay, they didn't cut anything from rich people. They didn't add any taxes. They took some contracts for themselves. They cut money from us, and we paid them, 2 times, 3 times as much to do it? The efficiency. That was the efficiency. And no, none of the swallowers are going to get that. They don't care because as long as it's these guys in charge. So yeah, you're going to watch them drive this like a company. They are going to milk it until it's ready to fall apart. And as it falls apart, they're going to look for other people to blame while they sell it for pieces, pat themselves on the back and go, we're successful white men, and try to move on to the next thing. When you are a woman or a person of color in corporate, it is frustrating watching these assholes just continuously fail up their entire careers and have people go, they're so amazing. I worship these rich white men. And it's like, oh my gosh. So anyway, look, between the judges, these exports, and the courts, and they're defying orders and trying I believe the judges are out. They're out, so they arrested them, but they're out. And like I said, they were doing their job, so none of this is going to stick. They're just trying to shock and awe and look tough because they are losing. Internationally, they are losing. Other countries are calling them out. China especially is spanking their asses. They look bad. They look weak. So what do abusive narcissists do when they're looking weak? They take it out on the people at home. So when you're the stench of the country, what do you do when the rest of the world is making you look weak? You start abusing the citizens, the court systems. You start looking for something else to swing at to make up for the fact that you're being embarrassed elsewhere. So that's what this weekend is about. They're going to be making up for the fact that they're being embarrassed internationally. We're starting to hear more calls for impeachment, which I don't want. I mean, yes, I want it, but I want all of them. Like you want Vance and his pantaloons to step in there. The Antichrist Jr., okay, touched the Pope and 24 hours later he was dead. Went to India and 48 hours later they're ready to get in a war in Pakistan. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but whatever aura he's bringing with him is like the angel of death direct. So no, I don't need him in the seat after. So, but it is encouraging to hear people talking about it, although they've been talking about it ever since he went in there. So I don't know. Yeah, George Santos got sentenced. I don't really care about that other than he's really pissed about it. Now, what I don't know if you guys heard the transcript of, I guess, an interview that Daddy Sundown over there did with Time. And I don't know if they requested for it to be released unedited or if Time did that to give us a little treat, but it's bad. It's bad. It's basically, dude doesn't know where he is. Half the time he's getting lost on the, like, it's very obvious decline of the cognitive variety. No ifs, ands, or buts. No excuses. It's bad. And the fact that still, again, some of these people, the two-teethers and swallowers, they will prop him up and run him with sticks just as long as it's the worst one of these they can find. Because as long as the worst one of these is running everything, they feel good. They feel confident enough to call the po-po on the black chick who's calling them what they are. Because they can be proud about it, but she can't say anything about it. Oh, darling, I'm like, just because I haven't posted videos of you guys doesn't mean I don't also have footage, and I didn't have to go to my corner to get it. I've got it. I haven't posted it. I could. Let's see. We'll see. I can if we need to. So now I know I already said this, but I just want to say this again. If all of these undocumented persons aren't paying taxes and are completely illegal and all these other things, how is it that other departments, the IRS, etc., are working with the doo-doo department, the one we're overpaying to be efficient, except for they're not? But you guys don't care about that either. You don't care about that. So that they can find more of these. So if they're not paying taxes, how do they have tax records? How do they have numbers to pay taxes with? How do they have all this government documentation if they're so illegal and so dangerous? They're scooping people up on their way to their immigration appointments. They've been doing that for a while, but for some reason it's just now coming out as breaking news. So, I mean, we're going to see how the cookie's crumbling. The cookie's crumbling. So while everything is serious, I need you to just pay attention to that very importante silver lining, which is it's crumbling. So we need to keep applying the pressure. Keep showing the world that we don't want this shit either. Keep applying pressure to the regime because they are all about appearances. They want to look like they're winning. They want to look like everyone loves them, and they're losing support by the minute. That's why you see the bots back. So keep applying the pressure. Keep the foot on the gas. Good trouble. Good trouble. Put the privilege to work. Dag nabbit.